Greetings fellow hunters and welcome back to part 17, episode 16 of my Monster Hunter World playthrough. This is the part where the game really starts getting tough. Now don't get me wrong, some of the monsters that we fought before, such as the Legion and the Odogaron in particular, they were tough. But this is where the game really starts to get challenging. And now, don't be alarmed by the lack of exclamation marks in Astera. I did promise you I was going to go over the changes after you defeat the Odogaron, and changes I have made for sure. So I promise you I will be going over them in this part briefly as I make my way towards the canteen to prepare for the expedition to the ancient forest. So I will be going over those changes now. I'll be doing a post commentary of going over those changes in Astera now. Alright, so after completing the Odogaron quest, you can talk to this smart biologist here, and he will give you a capture quest for said animal himself, actually, the Odogaron. I would definitely recommend catching or hunting a Legiana first for the specific armor piece of Legiana, which I'll tell you about in a minute, but this guy will give you a quest, man's best friend, so there's that. Next we have the Elder Melder, and basically the way melding works is you trade in old items you have, so for example monster bones, etc. that you've acquired on the quest, and they are worth specific amounts of points, melding points. Now those melding points, you can trade them in and add up to a certain amount of melding points that are required for a specific item. And melding can be very useful, just save a lot of time, a lot of hunting. I definitely recommend this if you just don't have the time to do all that grinding hunting. This, provided you have the parts, the melding pots can be a godsend, let me tell you. You can get some fantastic items from said melding pots. So there's a tutorial there. Pause if you want. It's a post commentary, so only have a certain amount of time. But right now, I don't think I'll be able to. I don't think there's anything I want to craft specifically. I know where to get all this stuff. But new items are unlocked along the way, as you can imagine. But for now, you can unlock all this stuff here, which I've indicated. I don't think I'll be needing anything now, so I won't be needing anything. But very useful. Next, we have the field team leader. Speak to him, and he's going to give you a new mantle, the Vitality Mantle, which basically negates a certain amount of damage, so it could be very useful for when you're on the last legs and you're about to die from a hit. So very useful item. Next, talk to this armory person. She will have new stock. Not the most helpful. I mean, I think she just has alloy and some low-level weapons, but still useful. Once again, if you just don't have the time, you just rather coast through the game. You know, you could always upgrade later. So not the most helpful, but you know, still there. Next we have the Meowscular Chief. He has a quest for you, another bulking up the canteen quest. And this is collect 2 lumps of meat from the Rotten Vale, which can be found in the Odogaron's hideout, all the way on the west area. I can't remember what the number's called, but you hide from Gyros, you deliver them lumps of meat, and that's how you get around it. Next, talk to the smart biologist. If you capture the Odogaron, he will give you 800 points, very useful for crafting weapons, forging weapons. Talk to this impatient biologist. She will give you a quest to slay a Kirin, which is an elder dragon that's no one really talks about, not the most important, but we will get back to a Kirin quest in a later video, so we're not going to talk about it, but oh boy, it's going to be a doozy, let me tell you. So there you go in a flash, slay a Kirin. Level 5, low rank. And one last thing, I'm just going to show you what I did with the Odogaron pieces when I spent quite a lot of time farming the thing. I had to get the Legiana parts for good luck and then hunt the Odogaron. So we're going to craft this thing here, the Odogaron coil, the Odogaron mail, and the Odogaron headpiece. Do I go over to it? Odogaron helm, there we go. So those are the items we have to craft. I believe I just have enough. I have 4 sinew, 11 scale, 3 claws, and 3 plates as well. Got 2 from that Odogaron drop, which is pretty lucky. So, anyway, first is the Odogaron coil, which gives me plus affinity and critical eye, pretty handy. For chipping away at monsters' weak points. Next is the Odogaron helm, which you can get for 2 scales, 1 sinew, 1 claw, 1 bone. Not bad at all. And I actually don't have enough here. At least my past self didn't have enough for an Odogaron mail, but I'll be getting it, and I will be acquiring that Odogaron power, which I will be telling you guys in a second. But anyway, that's it. That's all the changes made, and now once I've done here, just showing the piece I need to get back on with the video. Alright, so just one last thing I'd like to cover. Is that sometime after defeating the Odgaron, you have the option of taking on a Legiana quest, where you must capture a Legiana. You must talk to one of the Linean botanist researchers, and she will give you a quest to hunt or capture, I believe, a Legiana. And once I did that, I was able to access the Legiana gear. Now, the reason why I want to do this is because if you can forge 3 armor pieces of the Legiana gear, such as this, you can get yourself the Legiana Blessing, which has good chance of increased quest rewards. Now this, as you can imagine, can be a blessing, if you will, when hunting for specific gear. and actually has pretty good defenses as well. It's got 30, very solid. Nice ice resistance there. Perfect for hunting fellow Legiana, which kind of defeats the purpose, but you know. But I would, if you have plenty of time on your hands, if you plan to make your playthrough Monster Hunter World a long one, you have lots of hours to grind for gear, I would highly recommend going for this set of gear. And the gear we're going to be using today is the Odgaron. An Odgaron set, as you can see here, the helm, the mail, and the coil, which boosts bleeding resistance, sharpness speed, or speed sharpening rather, and critical eye, which increases affinity. So, Odgaron power, when you have 3 or more armor pieces equipped, adds a stun effect to draw attacks and slightly increases attack power. Very useful offensive based weaponry. And I also have the what is it? It's the, here we go, the Pulsar Strong Arm, the Charge Blade electric ailment, or type rather. So that is the gear we're going to be rocking, and you'll see why in a second why I'm rocking this set. Alright, to depart on expedition to the Ancient Forest. Let's do this. Now, this is something I forgot to do in earlier parts of the playthrough, but I felt this would be more appropriate to do it here, since it is part of the mission. Anyway, so to find a new camp, a new base of operations, which is part of the mission, and will make lots of missions involving flying dragons a lot easier on these parts, is through here. So you start at Northeast Camp, you head through Sector 5 here, and instead of heading right down to the beach there in Sector 4, you turn left here, make a left, climb up this massive trunk. Now of course, if you're a fellow explorer like me, you have a lot of time on your hands to play this game, you will most likely find this by yourself as well, and may not even need this in fact. So but just in case you don't, you can come through here. You can find footprints as well. If you collect enough, of course, you will follow a trail. So anyway, you climb that vine here up to Sector 15. It's very useful crafting materials. You've got excited shroom, you've got moss vine hide, the pig, and you've got flash bugs, which I think I'm going to grab now, since on this expedition you don't have to fight anything. There are 2 ways to climb. You can climb out that vine here, but I'm taking the long way round just for posterity. You can take a left here. This is still part of finding the camp, so don't worry about it.
Looks like we both arrived at the same place.
Yeah, she totally travelled on a winged drake, or Rathalos, whatever you call it. So anyway, there are 2 ways to find the camp. You can come up here, which is the ideal way you're meant to go.
Huh? The trail seems to stop here. A Rathalos!
Monster Hunter veterans will recognize this face. Not the time one, of course, but I happen to take some feedback into account here and there.
Hey. Look. Found you.
I can make that noise too.
Top of the food chain?
That probably sounded awful. I'm wearing headphones, so it sounded badass to me, at least.
It must be referring to Rathalos and Diablos. Want to return to base and prep?
Well, there you have it. A fiery throne atop the forest. Isn't that a cool name for a hunt? Or a quest, rather. So anyway, just finishing the way you find the ancient forest camp. You continue through the Rathalos or Rathian's lair, and then you wander through here. You have to, on a set of branches here, branches and roots, you take a right. I find for me it's the fastest way. You take a left here, short turn off, and here it is, the ancient forest camp, which of course I found quite a while ago, but just forgot to cover in previous parts, so please excuse me for that. So I'm going to stop here, and then after I complete an expedition, because I have a few more bounties and items I want to collect, we will get straight on to hunting the Rathalos. Bear with me shortly as I make some last minute preparations to take on the Rathalos. So, be right back. And we're back. So, usually this is the fastest way to find the Rathalos. Head up to the ancient forest camp, and you can sometimes find him chilling in his nest, his lair, I was about to say. There he is. So it's probably not the best spot to fight him in, but anyway, here he is, the king of the ancient forest. Now the Rathalos, what makes him stronger and more dangerous than the Rathian is that one thing, he hits harder, he's larger, and he likes to stay airborne more often than his cousin. What also makes him stronger is that he has a variety of attacks, so much more dangerous than the Rathian as well. There's also one threat that Rathalos poses, his ability to poison. So, Rathalos' biggest weakness is Dragon at 3, Thunder at 2. This is why I wanted to use the Charge Blade electric weapons. kind of trapped here, so... Oh, come on! I can't get anything going. Well, thankfully, that is one of the tricks you can use to deal a bit of damage to the Rathalos. A landslide, which will knock him over, just do a lot of damage, and leave him down on the wayside here. Let's see if we can... Let's see if we can't get him out from here. Awesome mount ever! No. Finally get on some damage here. Very nice. Took off his tail. Look at that, we got scared. So that landslide can give you a real advantage in fighting this Rathalos, because we've not been so good this time. We've not had a very good start, have we? 2 antidotes used already. Only 1 string of combos, thanks to that landslide. But if you could get the Rathalos to crash into that, it will give you a real advantage. Let's try and stay in guard mode. There's an edge now. Does he want to play? That is another thing you can do. You can... There are flash pods around the area, or flash bugs. If you get those, you can also ground the Rathalos. That's another thing you can do. You can get the Rathalos' rivals in as well to help you in the fight. Just move my pop filter there. Oh, it could cost me. It's got me, it's got me. King of the Forest trying to show me who's boss here. Ah! Toby! You're not helping. Please do something to the Rathalos. Ground him. That was a bad idea, now was it? Hello? Hello? Mega potion? Got an angry Rathalos on my hands. I meant to jump there. I'm not sure why it decided to just attack. I'm stunned again. I have the stun charm on and I'm stunned. Get up. If I'd have been killed like that, I would have honestly quit. So we're hanging on for dear life here, to be honest. In fact, I want... And this is why I'd recommend also ending the expedition and accepting the quest and accepting the fire throne atop the forest. And do not continue the expedition. Is that you want some extra time to take on this Rathalos because it moves around a lot. Of course, the real enemy of this game is time. She'll treat you well if you're on top, but better use her wisely or else she will leave you behind. Why, hello there, your majesty. I'm back for round 2. Get down here. Oh, come on. How am I not hitting it? Oh, no, not again. No. Get down from there. That's why elemental resistance is a good idea as well. To inflict 2 status ailments. Very deadly. Oh, I need to die. Yes, come on. Stop getting stunned, I was blocking. That's another tip, by the way. Blocking can reduce the effects of stun, and I swear I was holding block there, but this thing is so massive that it's covering up. I can't tell because it's covering up the screen, you see. Which gives you an idea of how small my monitor is and what I'm working with. Number 1. Okay, that's better than nothing. Well, I was just saying, I was just about to say we're starting to get some momentum here, but it seems like he can attack me from literally anywhere. That's one of Rathalos' biggest strengths. Its ability to just big size, just able to attack you from anywhere, really. Oh, come on, I was blocking! Looks like Toby's giving us a bit of hand here. Giving us a bit of a hand here. Arse. Oh, so close, and it had to roar, didn't it? It had to roar. Thanks, Toby. Nice. Okay, we've got the high ground now. Everything feels like it's happening in slow motion. Thankfully, because it's prime ground combat at the moment, can we take advantage of this? Ah! That's another reason why the Rathalos is so deadly. It likes to use lots of combos. Something the monsters haven't really done at this point. Including Fire Sweep, Fireball, and then its charging attack. Okay, we're starting to get into this a bit now. Thank goodness. Oh, it's 2 poster pushes of the game, the Anjanath and the Rathalos in one spot. Nice. Jump. Yes! Please don't knock me off, Angie, please. Do me a favour and help us take out the king. Angie! Don't do this to me, Angie. We can be kings and queens of promise. Nah, I don't want to do that. We can be rulers, Angie. Together. If you help me take out the real enemy here. Which is totally me, to be honest. Anyway, I forgot to mention the Rathalos' weak points. Its tail, its head will do the trick. And you wanted to disable its tail first because it can do some big damage. You also want to disable its head too. That'll disable, not disable, but weakens fire attack. Maybe it does disable, I'm not sure. Anyway, we've got the Rathalos limping here. Just about surviving by the skin of our teeth. Now we could always catch it and just end this now, just end our suffering a bit, make this easier, but you know that just wouldn't be any fun now, would it? Nice. Morph slash, that's why I need to be doing more morph slashes. I managed to ground it again, which is pretty good. Oh, so close. Come on, give me a best shot. That's what I thought. Intimidation tactics work. I'm going to some fighter here. Come at me. King of the forest. Too high up. This is where it's most deadly, in the air. Alright, move this out. Don't know how I'm not getting hit here. You start doing the morph slash more. I could just end this a bit sooner, but I just want to give you a showcase of what Rathalos likes to do. Okay, slide it now. Let's try and finish it. He's struggling on stamina. Let's try and finish it. Watch, we're not hitting its head. That's nice. Woohoo! Oh. We slayed the king of the ancient forest. The fiery throne is mine now. Rathalos. You're poser, you're fake. So, there you have it. The Rathalos. A throne fit for a king. A massive dragon wyvern. I'm calling him a dragon. No, I know they're called wyverns in this game, but we came here for the fantasy. We play Monster Hunter 1 for the fantasy, for the dragon slaying. So do not, and I repeat, do not get poisoned by this thing's claws. Because that will leave you poisoned and you'll have to then unsheath and heal a lot. So it just ruins your momentum. And it, quite frankly, it can very easily kill you. Its attacks do a lot of damage. And you also want to try and avoid his fireball attacks as well. His fire element is not as bad. You just simply roll around to try and get rid of it. So that's not so bad. So just don't let this thing get in too close. Get off some big hits. Guard its. Make sure to guard its most dangerous attacks. And if you could just hit this thing hard in between its weaker attacks, and try and ground it as much as possible, and that's a good way to go against it. Bow guns or bow and arrows work well against it, which is why I did not want to use the large longsword, because you want a weapon that could guard, because the Rathalos is very big and it's very hard to avoid its attacks. And the light sword might not be as bad idea, but I prefer to block. Allows Rathalos to come to you essentially, and you can just counter hit it hard, which I was trying to do but did not pull off so well. So, but next it gets, I don't want to say even tougher, but just as hard. That's one massive wyvern down to prove ourselves to the First Wyverians. Next, we face an arguably even stronger creature, or very strong in its own way. A horned tyrant below the sands. So that's got to be it. Thank you very much, fellow hunters, for watching. Take care, and I shall see you all again very soon in the next part. Farewell.